I want to talk about Jerrod Carmichael. Who you want to talk about?
You want to talk about that nigga?
Yeah, I did.
You want to go smart and not smart. All right, go ahead.
Hey, look, because we was talking about smart motherfuckers.
Okay.
He did a Breakfast Club interview. The man with no name put it in the chat. I put it in the chat after he put it in the chat. I got thoughts. I don't want to play no parts of what they did because then it might get took down or whatever. But I know what they said.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, you want me to go first, or you want to go first because you had put it in there first. Man with no name.
Oh, you better setting this type of shit up because I'm gonna just start rambling and tell about shit I don't like and not
Oh,
even
okay.
fully
So
flesh out.
Jerrod Carmichael was recently in the news for espousing his feelings and shit. And yet again, he told everybody how he likes a certain particular bedroom activity. He made a joke about it. Joke didn't go over too well when the internet's heard about it. Said, wait a minute. It was involving him being a slave in his fantasy and his boyfriend being a slave master's son. Weird, right? Yeah. Anyway, he got donkey of the day for that joke because it was an ain't shit joke. Hee haw, you got it. Congratulations. He felt I want to promote my show some more, and I got a book. Or I think he had a book or a special. I don't know what the fuck it was because who cares?
Yeah, TV
Coming out
show.
that he wanted to promote. So he felt that while I'm getting donkey today because of all this attention and I'm begging for it, and I finally got some, I'll be right up there to hear you motherfuckers tell me why you don't like me. So he went right up, and they didn't waste no fucking time. They got right into it. Well, he didn't waste no time. He wanted to get right into the motherfucking shits, and he said, "You gave me donkey today for a joke, and you didn't even get the joke." Then he went on to explain the joke.
Mm.
And it turns out motherfuckers really did get the joke. The added
Yeah,
little context you put in there
didn't really make that much of a difference.
didn't make that much of a difference.
It made a lot of difference,
No, it didn't.
and they didn't get the joke.
Hey, look. The joke that we thought he said was that um he likes to role play with his boyfriend where he's the slave and his boyfriend's the slave master son.
That wasn't the joke.
Hey, look, what I just say? How did I set that up?
What?
What we thought the joke was when we were talking about it was that,
Oh,
right?
oh no.
Huh?
Yeah, okay, yes, I guess
Right.
that.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what we thought the joke was. And so we gave him vitriol for it. Then he came on the Breakfast Club to try to explain that shit, and he explained it, and he said that wasn't what I said. What I said was my boyfriend is so smart because he reads books, and I'm so dumb because I just watch niggas on the radio all day. He said I'm so dumb because I watch the Breakfast Club, and my boyfriend is so smart because he doesn't. I don't know if they called the dig that was, but he was insulting you people. He's saying I feel dumber for having watched you, but hey, look, ha ha he with him all you want. So he said his joke was that I was in bed with him and I just felt like, man, he's so much smarter than me. This makes me feel and harken back to the slave master and the slave master's son. And that was
But he, but it
the
wasn't smarter though.
what was it? More well read.
More well read.
Takes better care of his time. He does more um effective things with his time. I don't know what was
More
the
read. Just more. Just reads more books. That's it.
why was that
And
better though? Why would him reading more books and you watching the
it
Breakfast
wasn't.
Club put
It
you in the
wasn't
mind of
better.
him being the slave master's son and you being the slave?
It wasn't
You felt
necessarily
inferior
better.
to him in that moment because you
It
weren't
felt
reading books.
inferior.
You were just watching television.
He he felt inferior.
Yes,
It's
but what
okay.
I'm
There is
saying
no
is
vitriol
even
to be had.
explaining it doesn't make it better.
It, okay. Then there's no back and forth to be had because he had a feeling. He in that moment felt subservient. He crafted a joke around it. That makes it 100% acceptable. He wasn't saying black people this. He finds himself, he deems himself very well read, and that's the context that made it applicable, and they're acceptable to him
Yeah,
because he
again, you're
himself
not
is so well
making it
read.
better, fam. I don't think you can say it's slower and calmer and all that. You're not making it sound better. All you
Man,
saying to me again is that he felt inferior to his counterpart because his counterpart read and he didn't.
no,
Right?
read more than him. Not he didn't
I don't give a
read
fuck
more.
more. That don't make it better.
That
You
does. That
feel
does.
inferior because you watch the Breakfast Club and he don't. You feel inferior because you indulge in nigger shit and he don't.
Now you taking it.
I'm taking it to what he was doing with his logical progression of the joke, juxtapositioning it with the slave master's son and a slave. What are we talking about?
I didn't
He
think.
did that
I
shit.
don't think. I
Wasn't
don't
part of
think
the
he
shit he
was.
fucking did. And so was most
I.
of the world because he wasn't as smart as he thought he was with the shit that he was saying. It wasn't so fucking coded. It wasn't so hard to understand. It wasn't so esoteric that only these people over here will get it with these particular sensibilities, and these other motherfuckers over here ain't gonna know what the fuck I'm saying. No, nigga,
That's
we
the
know you talking
point.
about it. We know
That's
you
the
talk
point.
about
It
your
wasn't
joke and your
esoteric. It was very
self-deprecating sense
cursory.
of humor, but when your self-deprecation is involved, and it's wrapped in your race, fam, what am I supposed to say to that?
I mean, it's plenty of people think that they aren't attractive, and they may have compared themselves to animals. Do we then up the vitriol because Faison Love say he look like a gorilla?
Up to vitriol when you say I'm black, so that therefore I look like a gorilla. I up the vitriol when you try
He
to
didn't say
position
I'm
me
black, therefore
into
I feel like a
hold on,
slave
hold on.
master.
Look. You want me to answer? I'm answering it. I question you. I judge you when you try to base your inferiority complex in your race. Base it in all of the fucked up shit about you that you got going on. Put it on your anxiety. Put it on the fuck that you don't understand people the way that you should really be able to understand people. Put it on the fact that you were a nerd in school and didn't get no girls or whatever the fuck it was. But when you wrap it in your
All right,
blackness, that's
all right,
offensive to me
all
in
right,
my
all right.
blackness. Because it feels
Answer
like
me
you're blaming the
this.
blackness for the fucked up shit about you and not all of the fucked up shit about you personally.
Answer me this. Did that dichotomy exist? Did the dichotomy of the joke exist uh in reality?
No.
So there was never a slave master teaching the slave boy how to read. There was
Oh, no,
never
no, no,
that
no, 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 no,
dichotomy
no,
in
no, no, no.
history.
That existed. I thought you were
That
speaking to the
dichotomy,
I thought you were
that
speaking to
dichotomy
the
doesn't.
existence of you being intellectually inferior because you indulge in a different media than someone else.
No, no, no. I mean the dichotomy of the joke. The joke was that slave master
Taught the
son,
sons how to read. Yes. Yes, that
right?
happened. Yes.
On
Again,
some
you're
on
not making
some.
it better. I get that this motherfucker made a joke. I'm not I'm not ignorant of that concept. I get it. It just wasn't good, man. The
I
joke
mean
came at the
that
expense of
that
the race.
that is the conversation to have, not how intrinsically racist it was. It's like, come
Not
on,
right. Hey,
like
look, the
motherfuckers
joke
is reaching.
you're the joke is a joke because it's self-deprecating. But your self-deprecation comes rooted in your race.
Still self-deprecating. Still ain't got shit to do with you.
He's wrapping it in his race.
It has shit to do with you. Now you can analyze
Saying
what
he's this because he's black. And I'm
he is
saying,
that because he's
no,
black.
you're that because you're you. And you saying that is wrong. That's what I'm saying. You're
No,
not these things because you're black. You're not intellectually inferior to this motherfucker because you're black. Because you indulge in black culturally skewed things. No, that is not
again,
the source of your inferiority, sir.
he
You're
wasn't
inferior because myriad other reasons.
he wasn't insinuating that it was because he was black. He
What
was
was he
just
insinuating there?
he juxtaposed it to a fucking time in history where that was a thing. That's it. That's all.
No, he juxtaposed what they were doing to a time in history. And what were they
Yes.
doing? You can't play like you don't know what the fuck he was talking about when he said what they was doing. He said
Reading.
exactly what he was doing.
Reading.
No, he was not reading. His boyfriend was reading. He was watching the Breakfast Club.
That's not what he said.
Yes.
No. This was a culmination of a point. He reads more than me.
Yes, he said he reads more than me.
And through trying to explain the joke to Charlamagne and them, he took a couple barbs. And you're smart enough not to conflate the two and try to push them two together. The joke as it stands, his boyfriend made him feel like an accurate time in history. Bing, bang, boom. Now, if the joke fell on deaf ears, that's what we could talk about. But the soapbox about the racial epithets, that's fucking, it just begs, we're seeking attention.
No, we're not. No. I'm just not going to let the motherfucker play in my face, fam. Just not. Okay. Just not. No. I'm not losing any sleep over this shit, but when I see it, I'm going to call it the fuck out. You can't get away with the bullshit that you're doing, fam. You can't tell me bullshit. I know the prices.
Jay-Z quote. Shout out. I caught that.
Shout out to Jay-Z.
I just think that's one of them things where the messenger tainted the message.
Hey, look,
I think the right comedian could have got that off. If it wasn't about his boyfriend, if it was just about one of his frat brothers, I could see a myriad of ways where that wouldn't have went off so horribly.
Hey, look,
it's just Jerrod Carmichael. We want to hate him right now, so now we're gonna dissect everything he does.
I don't want to hate him. I started out in this motherfucker corner. I was on his side. I was a champion of his show. I was sitting here watching the Carmichael show. I saw all of the episodes. I came on this motherfucker and told people to watch the show. It's a good show. We got us on TV. It's showing us differently. It's showing some different perspectives because he brought some perspectives on the show, and I could appreciate that. A different perspective, a different view
until he started making up 2 cents points in his personal life.
No,
everybody started.
No. He didn't start doing all of this personal life shit until after his show. It wasn't until after his show where he got weird and started saying all this stupid shit. When he was with
2 years ago, when he came out, is when all this shit happened.
The show was canceled long before that, fam.
Well, I don't know what type point history you're trying to point to there. He's been acting weird since he's been acting weird. And we've been separated from him since we've been separated from him.
Hey, look, when he came out, we was with him. We was on his side. He was on the 444 album, the Moonlight video. Him, Issa Rae, all of the new young black Hollywood, all of them motherfuckers, when there was a movement of motherfuckers out here with their own shows, getting pushes from networks and shit like that. When they did the Friends parody.
Hey, this is what the fuck
he did that shit.
I want to make an addendum real quick about him and that country. What the fuck was that nigga name? Lil Nas X. I don't want them to think that black men have separated themselves because of their homosexual affiliation. That had nothing to do with it. It's the fact that it felt like a planned duping. That's why black men kind of like, nigga, we not fucking with y'all on that level. It felt like a planned. It felt like gay espionage. Like, nigga, you could have been gay and made that song, and we'd have liked the song the same. You could have been gay and told those jokes all these years. It feels like gay is your gimmick now. So no, we're anti-gimmick. Because they've trying to get off that we be anti-gay. No, we anti-gimmick. Black men have always wanted shit to be down to earth. Pause. Au natural. Pause. Real. Pause. And once it starts feeling covert or like out of left field or
like a ploy.
Yeah, just wrought with ulterior motive. Then we rather find out your altruistic nature through the wire. So yeah, they not finna get off the fact that all black men are homophobic because we ain't.
I don't know what the fuck you talking about right now. I don't know how we got there.
I already said I was interrupting because both
No.
of them niggas.
I
Because
know.
both of them niggas is
The
trying to do
interruption
this
lost
shit.
me. You didn't. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you was doing with the interruption. I don't know what you was
That's
doing.
all right, niggas. The black men know. That's it.
Anyway, they pushed that motherfucker and he cracked and he was like, "Oh shit, I'm bat shit crazy. Oh, I'm banana cream pie." Or they knew what the fuck they was getting. That's why they pushed this motherfucker and they was like, he gonna get in there and he gonna get their hearts and then he gonna tell them all this stupid
Forward.
shit. And they gonna go for it. And they miscalculated. They didn't realize he didn't have our hearts yet. We didn't really give all that much of a fuck about Jerrod
Man,
Carmichael.
the Breakfast Club is looking for targets.
I'm
The
not
Breakfast
saying no. I'm
Club.
not saying the Breakfast Club did this shit. I'm saying that the industry pushed him. We didn't fuck with Jerrod Carmichael. We got a Jerrod Carmichael show. Cool, but we now know who Jerrod Carmichael was and actually is a self-serving, egotistical. I think I'm smarter than everybody else in the room. I don't give a fuck about you. Also, hypocrite.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I call him a hypocrite because he keeps trying to say that the shit he's doing is art. In reference to he was talking about his show, the reality show he got where he's just talking about his life and shit.
Yeah.
He's calling that art while denigrating the phenomenon of reality TV. He's saying that that's not art. That's just you talking shit. He's denigrating podcasts. He's saying that's not art. That's just you talking about how you feel, what you think about whatever the fuck it is. Then he gets on. Then he does a show where he just tells you how he feels and what he thinks about shit, or how he feels about people and how it affects him.
That's
So
art.
it's all self-centered, but it's still just you talking shit.
I got a point we could commune on. How do you feel about his Dave Chappelle apology?
It was bullshit. And he didn't even apologize for real.
He apologized for letting us know. That nigga apologized to himself.
Yeah, apologize to himself.
Hey, but wasn't it well thought out though?
No, no, it was pompous, arrogant. He thought the motherfucker wasn't gonna catch what he did. And some people didn't.
It was very well thought out, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't agree that it was a genuine apology. I think it was self-serving as well. That's why I brought it up because
That's
we
why I
can
can't call it
commune.
well thought out.
We could
You
commune
see
on
through it
that
so
point.
easily. I can't accept it as a well thought out thing.
I mean, you do know you're above average intelligence as well. We're convened here.
Hey, look, I like to think I'm average. I like to think most motherfuckers call that shit
That's your
the
problem.
bullshit it was.
That's your problem. But no, most people didn't catch it for the bullshit it was. It was very well thought out. It was. I harken back to the Raven Simone. You give a bitch 20 years and they could rewrite history. He fucking said that shit from the point of a fan. That's the point where I kind of agree. Dave Chappelle has been kind of like leaning on a set of material lately and a particular style of joke telling. He never used to do that. He's kind of caught in his own loop right now. So that it's a very astute assessment. Was it genuine?
Not astute, fam. He's trying to say that Dave Chappelle's comedy is based solely on the backs of the LGBT, emphasis on the T, plus community of his recent stand-ups. And I don't think it is.
I don't think it is I don't think it's the mainstay of it, but I do think his last few specials have hinged on those jokes.
On those jokes or the ramifications that he has incurred because he has said those jokes, or things that have happened to him in relation to that community because of who he is. If I make my comedy based off of my life and my experiences, and I continually experience less than friendly interactions with members of that community, I would think that that person is probably going to time and time again have something to say about his interactions with members of that community.
Does he have to? No. Is he
Does it?
good enough to think of other things? Yes. Which is the point.
But would you acting like he get up there for an hour and talk about them for 58 minutes?
That ain't what I act like. I
So
act like
so
I
how,
act like his
how
last few
much of it?
specials have hinged on his big gay perspectives.
Okay, so you're saying that they hinge on that. I'm saying I don't think that they do.
And we could agree to disagree and move forward.
I have to rewatch
But
them to
there's
see.
no
Like, yeah, we
there's
can do
no
it.
there's no proof.
There is
But I
proof. If he
agree.
has, if the majority of his jokes is about the weather and climate change, or how much of a dick Donald Trump was, or whatever the fuck. Greta Van Dunsterberg flying around on a jet, being whatever. If most of his jokes were centered around those things, then we have the actual data to back up the position.
Or he got 10 minutes of jokes that lead you in one direction to boom, slam the trans joke in your face. So that doesn't bode for what you're saying. The
How
shit
not,
hinged on
man?
the
If I
trend.
do 10 minutes of jokes and then you want to harp on this 1 minute of joke that I
It
said
ain't,
about that,
it
and then
ain't,
you
you
make
said
everything about
they're
that
called a
thing.
setup. They call a setup and a punchline. So you do 10 minutes of setup
Mm.
for a trans joke. That's what he
Yeah,
usually does.
you're saying that does not mean that's what he's doing.
Okay, so we could agree to disagree and move forward, like I said.
Cool, cool. Yeah, but I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate his stance with having a problem with Dave Chappelle doing that, and then you turning around and making jokes about race. You make a shit ton of racial commentary in your stand up. Can we say you should just drop that shit? Enough of it already. We understand.
Hey, but if he's speaking from his perspective, and he is a member of the race, then yeah,
But that's what he just
he's
insinuated Dave Chappelle does. So
yeah,
he's
but
asking from that very same logic, could we tell him to shut the fuck up too? Because Dave ain't
nah,
making up these stories; these are life events, and he's
I'm just,
telling what the fuck they call that Seinfeld shit, introspective comedy.
Mhm. Whatever
So
you call that
they
shit,
both doing
personal, whatever.
introspective first person comedy. They both telling life stories. They both telling allegories from their existence. So if he's tired of if we are collectively tired of the trash jokes from Dave, we can also be collectively tired of the black jokes from Jerrod, whatever.
I can see it being different as he is actually black, so he can talk about his blackness
I mean, this nigga is actually being accosted by transgender motherfuckers every place he go. So why would that be off the table?
because he's
It would
not
be
an
off the
actual
table because it's
transgender.
repet. I mean, but it should be off the table because it fucking get repetitive
Right. The argument
at a
is that
while.
the repetitiveness is the issue and it should be dropped. So if we're
Right.
talking about you harping on a subject till it's done, just because you're a member of that particular group, you're still harping on a subject.
Nigga,
You
you
want
pretend
motherfuckers to be good?
part of the group that he being harassed by. He ain't doing jokes about transgenders. He's doing his encounters with these motherfuckers. He's not doing transgender jokes. He's
I
doing
know that,
about his
that nah,
encounters with these motherfuckers.
nah, nigga. The road trip was definitely a joke about the fucking the bisexuals and the transgenders.
The Jim Carrey, the Jim
Nah,
Carrey joke.
not the Jim Carrey joke. The road trip. Um, when they say he picked up hitchhikers, one was a B. B's like
Oh
I
yeah,
can fit
yeah, yeah,
everybody
yeah.
in this car.
He was talking about how they didn't they well, I don't want to pick up none of them cues though.
I don't know what the fuck you are.
Oh, what the fuck going on there?
But again, he was on a road trip.
Yeah. Hey, look.
Nah.
Hey, look.
These are
Hey, look.
insights to his life. These
We just picked out a joke again. We could do that
yeah.
with Carmichael as well and become offended if we felt like it. So, and I could just pick out parts of his stand up that are talking about the same topics that he touched on, and his earlier stand up. So if we want motherfuckers to get off the pot in which they've been pissing on for the entirety of their career or a segment of their career, then you also need to stop midstream, fam, because it's enough. It's enough of the race shit. It's enough of this gender, the sexuality shit that we got from you. We get it. You gay. You didn't suck the nigga feet on camera. I didn't see it, but they talked about it enough to where
Whoa.
we did. They
No
didn't. I
Diddy.
didn't. I didn't see it. No.
Yeah, it
No. No.
is.
No. No.
So
No. No.
Diddy.
No. All Diddy. He sucked the nigga feet on camera, fam. That's the thing.
Yeah, nigga,
Put
that's
a
so
whole
Diddy,
nigga.
nigga.
He put a whole nigga foot in his mouth.
Oh shit!
No
They say
pause.
he put a whole
No
nigga foot in
pause.
his
No
mouth.
pause. Full go. I haven't seen it, but they talked about it in the interview that he did that shit. And then he was like, "Well, it was a Guatemalan foot, so does it count better?" Like, no, nigga, you put a
Nah,
whole
man.
damn foot in your mouth, fam. It's hey, look, do what you do, but understand that you keep knocking us over the head. Pause with all this shit.
Oh shit!
Ain't nobody want none of this shit.
Say a whole man foot.
We was perfectly okay with Jerrod Carmichael fading into the obscurity in which he came from because the show was a little boring. I wanted to fight for it because it was one of us, but it was some shit you could have did different. Um, but that's where it began and it kind of ended. You didn't have no more of that type of shit in the chamber. That was not actually who you were. You are now who you were supposed to be, which is if it's not person that you're presenting, then it's the one that you are letting us see but not claiming. The sellout, the I'll do anything for attention person. And I don't know if that's the real you or not. I don't know. This could be the one we seeing could be the true you. But I got a sneaking suspicion we gonna find out that you'll do anything for a fucking Klondike bar. Some
Oh
motherfuckers
shit!
is like that, fam.